since you stitched me up for my song at the backbencher. Hey, listen, firstly, good to see you all, and can I say thank you so much for coming out on a very rainy day, but it's a really exciting day with this project. Before we begin, can I just acknowledge the passing of Sir Kumu, also acknowledge our condolences to Lady Susan and all of his family, but also to Ngāti Tūwharetoa and the loss that they'll be feeling today. We want to acknowledge that up front. Obviously being here is a pretty special occasion. This is a road that's been talked about for a long period of time. It's a road that's been incredibly unsafe, and it's a $2.1 billion investment in the lower North Island in this region. It's a pretty exciting effort, and I want to say a big thank you to our MPs who've advocated very strongly for the project, but also a very big thank you to Chris Bishop, our Minister for Infrastructure and Transport, for leading this to its conclusion and actually getting works up and running this side of Christmas, which we really appreciate. With that, we'll take some questions, maybe first on the development here, and then we can move to general questions of the day, if that's okay. I'll let Chris talk to that.
Well, in terms of the short-term construction over the next 5 years, it'll be in the thousands. Don't have the exact numbers. It'll chop and change a bit as work begins on different sections and things like that. But undoubtedly, thousands of jobs here in this district, many of them locals. And then, of course, in terms of the future, the jobs and growth that this road will create, is going to be huge, because if you think about the connection to Transmission Gully, Mackay to Peka Peka to Ōtaki, those roads, and this new road is a continuation of those ones, has been transformational for this district. And you heard it from the Mayor during his speech, Mayor Burney, just the growth that's being generated here in Kapiti and the Horowhenua on the back of those roads. So, and that's precisely why we're doing it.
How would you describe the current?
I would describe it as a dangerous death trap, and anyone who's driven it knows that. 70 deaths and serious injuries in the 5 years to 2024. It's an extremely dangerous road, and that's one of the reasons why we're building a replacement offline connection to greatly improve safety on the road.
Did you have concerns when it went up to 100 k's?
It's safe to drive at 100k, but it is undoubtedly true that it is a dangerous road, and that's partly why we're replacing it with a new road.
The Mayor talked about at the time that it was really concerning to them that it was going up to 100 k's. Did you share that concern?
Ultimately, the road is safe to drive at 100 kilometres, but it will definitely be safer with a new 4-lane expressway standard road, with all of the benefits that come from those things. And you've seen that with Transmission Gully and the initial Kapiti Expressway. Those are very safe roads. Not a single person has died on any of those roads since they were opened.
Have you done any forecasts, Minister, on how many fewer deaths might happen on this road? Have you done any predictions around construction?
Yes, we do. I just don't have them to hand, but we can get those to you as part of the business case process for this road. That there have been forecasts, and that has gone into the benefit cost ratio and the business case that NZTA has gone through as part of that. So we can get those numbers to you. I just don't have them to hand. I don't want to mislead you by giving you inaccurate numbers.
And the new road will be 100 k's or 110?
It's built to 110, or will be built to 110. And we'll go through a process around that, as we always do when it comes to that.
How important is it, given the housing development that's going out there east of it?
Oh, I think critical, and one of the reasons why we've put such a heavy emphasis on these new roads of national significance we want to build around the country is housing growth. And you've seen what Transmission Gully and the Kapiti Expressway has done to stimulate people moving here, and the reason they do that is because they're much closer to other employment centres. So it's now possible to live in Te Waikanae and Paraparaumu, live in Ōtaki, and actually be relatively close to Wellington. It's now less than an hour from Ōtaki to Wellington. That's doable for a commute. Whereas before, on a dirt track, hour 20, hour 30, stuck, driving around the bays all the way through Mana and Plymerton, it just wasn't viable for people, so they didn't do it. And so by bringing, the northern parts of the Wellington and Lower North Island region together, you're bringing you're creating a denser economic market, and that's ultimately good for jobs and growth.
I think the thing is there's also real benefits economically, obviously, with building out high quality infrastructure like this. Obviously, as Chris said, you open up housing developments, but the other thing is there's real social benefits as well. I remember talking to a vet when the Waikato Expressway, she talked to me about that as a piece of roading in the Waikato, where she was able to do 1 or 2 more jobs each and every day, and importantly be able to get back to her 2 little girls at the end of the night because of the speed of that road and the safety of that road. And Chris alluded to it here, taking 15 minutes off people's commute time is really serious. I mean, it's 15 minutes you get to spend with your family that you didn't previously have, both ways. So, I mean, it's pretty special. Yeah, we said we'd start it in our term, we will. Yeah.
Why hasn't there been any details on this about it?
Well, we're going through a process. I mean, there's a lot of work underway by the Transport Agency around the roads that National has committed to building and that you see reflected in the government policy statement on land transport 2024. But if you want the honest truth, Labor left us with nothing because the prevailing policy of the government for 6 years was that they would not build 4-lane state highways. So no real project planning was done. So you think about a project like Mount Vic, that wasn't being advanced under the last government. Think about Tony de Granada, that work on that got cancelled. One of the reasons why we're able to advance the next section of the Northern Expressway, or the first section from Puhoi up to Warkworth, or the next section, is one of the reasons we're able to do that is that the consents already existed. But for the rest of it, we've had to go through a pretty quick process of business casing, investment cases. All of that's happened over the last 2 years. NZTA has significantly improved their time to do business cases. What used to take, I'm told, roughly 3 years has now been reduced down to 6 to 8 months. They've done an outstanding job on that. But that's one thing. Beyond that, you've designations, consents, funding. So people think you can just start building a road. The reality is you can't. To get to this point today, it's years of work. And we are going as quickly as possible. But within 18 months, I think we've made great progress. And you will see some things about other projects in the coming months.
Is
Yes.
the right place to invest in, given it is the only shrinking population centre in New Zealand?
Look, I think roads like this are really important for opening up growth, and in a region like this you've got growth happening, and so it's very important from a New Zealand point of view that we actually have the lower North Island functioning incredibly well. We are a government that believes very strongly in building out modern, reliable infrastructure, and we've got a lot of work ahead of us to do that, but we know the benefits are immense, both economically and socially and environmentally for our people and for the country. So, this is the right thing to be doing. We've got a lot on our plate. Chris is doing a fantastic job managing a very large pipeline. And we're just looking forward to getting these projects done so that people can get the benefits of them quicker. Yeah, so any other questions on the development? Did you have one, mate?
The cost of this road, I think it's gone from 800 million to 3.1 billion.
Yeah.
Stay there, or,
Well, a contract has been signed for the road. Construction is basically starting. The 800 million, do you want to know where that came from? Back in 2020, when Labor decided that they'd made a mistake by cancelling all the roads that were underway in 2017. This is the history. They cancelled the pipeline of all the projects back in 2017, 2018. In 2020, they realised they'd made a mistake. They went and borrowed $10 billion and said, okay, where are some projects we can start? Oh, that's right, there's that road up the way that's quite popular called Ōtaki to Levin. Oh, we'll just put that on the list. They said to the Transport Agency and the officials, how much does that cost? And of course, because they'd been doing no work on the road, it was all back of the envelope, literally put a finger in the wind to see what it costs. Estimated at 807 million. Turns out that was completely wrong. So of course we came in 2023 and there's had to be revised cost estimates to get to this point. But of course the road is important. It meets the benefit cost threshold to advance to being constructed. We believe in the road. We always have believed in the road. And frankly, if we'd started it 5 years ago, it would be a bucket load cheaper. But for that, blame Labor.
And I just say on that, I think that's one of the things that we are stepping up big time is the management of our infrastructure, because we can't keep running the country like it's 1975 doing ad hoc projects when we've got cash available when we haven't. The best time to start a road is now because it's the cheapest it'll be, but that requires proper planning, and it also requires us often needing to partner with outside capital to pull forward that infrastructure to get the road built faster, to get the benefit out quicker to the people. So that's what we've been doing in the first 18 months, is making sure that we've got a pipeline of projects that I don't think should be mucked around politically. I don't think these are things that should be turned off and turned on we're building roads, it's not rocket science. I don't think it should be turned on through the political cycles, and that's what we're trying to set up, is to make sure that the priority projects are locked in and they happen outside of the political cycle. All that happens is the funding that's determined on where we are as a government.
Ask me questions, guys.
Sorry, so we're all finished, moved.
Okay.
Sorry, yeah.
In your positive note, any recognition of the families or the landowners that gave up their property or their homes in order for them to enable the build? Do you have anything?
Well, we're very grateful. Very grateful for that. There's a lot of stakeholders obviously involved in bringing a project like this together. I think the partnership that you're seeing and the construction consortiums are coming together in the alliance structure. I think the work with Mana Whenua and the partnership that you've seen here as evidence today, but obviously, of course, those that have actually contributed through the Public Works Act and their land to make this road built, important. But that's the thing. In New Zealand, we want to get things done. We are over the talk and the discussion and the debate that goes on for years and decades. We need to get things happening, and that's what this road's about.
Last couple, guys.
Right, okay, so we'll change. Do you want to change? Yep. Again, we'll have more to say about that shortly. I've got no comment until then. Again, I've got no comment. I'll let Nicola announce that shortly, as we've said. Quite normal that leaders aren't at the UN. Our leaders don't go every single year to the UN. My schedule is determined on balancing my international travel commitments with being here domestically. And if you think about NATO, APEC, ASEAN, PIF, those are forums that have been a big priority for me this year. I will go at some future point, but no need for me to be there this year. Quite normal that foreign ministers represent their governments at Leaders' Week. No. Australia makes its own independent decisions around its foreign policy in the same way that New Zealand has its own independent foreign policy and makes its own decisions. So you'd need to ask him what he meant by those comments.
Last one, guys. We've got to go.
Sorry, yes.
Prime Minister, can I just ask, what do you make of President Trump's claims that paracetamol during pregnancy is linked to autism?
Well, I just say to you, paracetamol is safe. It's quite acceptable to be used by pregnant women and others who are dealing with fever. I just encourage people, our Ministry of Health, we're very comfortable with paracetamol being used in the way that it has been, as always, and I just encourage everybody, if you're concerned, check out the Ministry of Health website, but it's completely safe. All right. Okay, thank you, team. Appreciate it.
Do you want Bernie for a local perspective?
Good luck.
Richmond. Oh, look, just the fact that the highway is going ahead is a cause for celebration, but the added bonus of having it not rescoped to be built as planned and promised. Look, it's a wonderful day for the Horowhenua. Look, we've been waiting for this for many, many years. There's been many tragic incidents over the time. To see it finally get to this stage, I think is a massive, massive coup for everybody in the Horowhenua, and we're really proud to be here today.
Are you still concerned about the 100k speed limit on the current state highway?
Look, I don't want to enter any other debates around how important speed limits are or anything like this. I think this is just a celebration of 40 years plus of trying to get a better road that we could enable resilience and enable easy, safe passage through to Wellington, and I think that's what we should be celebrating today. Look, we know that building roads like this does make a difference in terms of safety and resilience, and we're, the fact that we've had a State Highway 1 network where there was nowhere to go when there was an incident between Ōtaki and Levin has meant now, we caused untold duress and people interrupting their day and things like that. So to get past that is, I think, we need to really, as the Prime Minister says, celebrate what a good thing this is. Cheers. All right, cheers.